Hey guys. So, Patrick died. I'm gonna try not to cry because I've cried so much. Here's my whole heart. But he passed away on 9/11. He had to go and make a statement. Um, his funeral is on Tuesday, which is the 21st. Today is the 14th. And yesterday, I went to his sister's house. We basically celebrated him, and he told his sister that he wanted her to make stuffed shells when he got out. And so she made those yesterday. And normally I wouldn't eat because of my stomach, but I had to because it was for him. I miss him and I love him so much. I keep saying I lost my soulmate, but he died from COVID pneumonia, and I really believe that the hospital did it because they gave him steroids, and when they gave him steroids is when he started getting bad, and the infection in his lungs spread faster, and it caused him to have diabetes because when I went to the hospital, they gave me steroids, pill form, and the nurse told me, be careful, your A1C could go up, and people who actually get COVID, some people end up having diabetes, so, yeah. Right now, I'm just dealing, his family has welcomed me into their family, and I'm so thankful for that. His mom got me this necklace. It's a cat, you can't even see it. When they were down here, his sister said it was the first time in a long time that they were able to spend the summer together. And the first time in a long time that they all got to celebrate his birthday together. Which happened to be here in my house. Everything reminds me of him. You see my melatonin, because that's the only way I could sleep. I got his Mario shirt right here that I sleep with like this. I literally sleep with it right here because I just feel so, close. When he was in the hospital, I would sleep with this like this too, with hopes that, it would help him. So what happened was they went to go put him on a ventilator, but his heart stopped. And when I'm alone, I talk to him, just tell him I love you and I miss you. I find notes from him. I had one in my car that said he said I was the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've been there for him through dark times and stuff like that. All his sisters and his dad are gonna get this tattoo that him and I were sending tattoos back and forth with the PlayStation logo on it. So they're gonna get one of them tattooed on them, and I'm gonna get I love you and I miss you on my wrist in his handwriting. I must have got bit by a mosquito last night. I also got this big old teddy bear right here that he bought me for Valentine's Day. But I got his don't mind the mess. I had COVID, okay? His birthday bag there from his mom. I got these Pringles right here. When he was in the hospital, he would video me and tell me, he'll go, still got them Pringles near you? And I'd be like, yep, they're right here. He'd be like, eat one for me. And so I'd eat one. And as soon as the crunch, he'd be like, oh my God, take another bite. Because he's like, I haven't had crunchy food in a long time. And he goes, when I get out, I want you to pick me up in his car and bring him food. So I was like, what am I going to bring him? I hope name his car Cherry. It was his baby, and I had to return his car to his sister the day after he had passed away, and I cried so hard, and all the way there I just was like screaming, I love you, please come back, I love you. And I thought it was gonna be the last time I'd seen his car. And I was the one who made the last car payment on it, because I was like, don't worry about it. Like, we got it. Like, you don't have to worry about keeping your car. Like, we'll keep it for you, like, for when you get out. So, when I brought it back, they said, his sister's like, yeah, we're not giving it back. Like, we're not returning it, because he was making payments on it, They're like, we're gonna try and keep it. And I was like, oh my God, like, you guys didn't get to see much of him, but he was literally in my life every day. Every day I took care of him, like, every day he'd work, I'd make him a lunch, and I'd put a note in his lunch to let him know, like, he meant so much to me. I'm trying to be strong, because I know that he wouldn't want me to hurt, but it's hard. But I just shared, some of the hardest times in my life with you guys, for whoever watches anyway. So I figured this is something I should share. He was such a good person. Everyone loved him. When all that stuff happened with Ian in October, that was hard. And then I met Patrick on like November 17th or 15th. And it just made me realize that there are some really great people in this world, He's no longer scared, though, and he's no longer struggling, so I just miss him so much. I lost my life on 9/11. So 9/11 to me personally will have a different meaning. Like, obviously I was always sad on 9/11 because what happened, but like, I wasn't personally affected. I mean, obviously everyone was in a way, but like, I didn't personally lose anyone that day until now. he got COVID. His family, he gave his whole, like, family COVID that he lived with, which was, like, 3 of his sisters and their significant others. And then I got COVID, and I gave it to Ian, and I gave it to Ashton, and Ashton gave it to Jim, and then Ashton gave it to Jenna and Laura and Flora. So it was like, we all got a little piece of him. But he's gone. And I think you guys seen one clip of him. He was such a beautiful soul, kind heart, handsome as fuck. Miss him. I don't even know how to, like, continue because it's gonna be hard. But I'm just so thankful that I have his family now, you know? And I got to celebrate and be with him for his last summer before he was gone. Man, I miss him. Oh. He literally slept in the bed 2 rooms away from me. In the guest bedroom, he slept in there. And I refused to let anyone go in that bed right now. I bought decals for everyone's car that says, like, in memory of, you know, his name and the dates. He has a daughter who's 11, I think. And he hasn't gotten to, like, see her in, like, 2 years. Not by his own choice, but I think that she may come. And I think that would be good in a way because she can celebrate her dad. And I don't know how good it would be that she sees him, like, dead in a casket. But yeah, freaking miss him. The last text message I have from him was, I'm in the ICU. Last phone call I had with him was, he was telling me that when I come to pick him up, if I could swing by his sister's and get him clean clothes. And then he stopped talking. And he called the nurse and he's like, I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting lightheaded. I need someone now. And a nurse came in. And he's like, I'm gonna call you back. He never did. But then his mom, like, group video chatted. The last time I got to talk to him. And he was like, going like this, like, I love you. I love you. And before I hung up, I was like, I love you so much. Like, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Then the next day I tried to call him, but he didn't answer. Because I felt all day and all night that night that something wasn't right. I couldn't sleep. I kept crying. I kept, like, every time I closed my eyes, I literally was like visioning me going to like a grave site for him, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it's like my body, like my soul knew, like my intuition was like, hey, like something's gonna happen. And I never really called him because I was so afraid to wake him up, and he needed to rest and relax because he kept getting worked up and his oxygen would go low. And so I try not to call him too much, because every morning he would call me, and the first thing I'd say is, how are you feeling? He'd usually say, I'm okay. How are you? I'd be like, I'm good. But I knew. And his mom called and she tried to video me so I could see him, because his sisters were there at the hospital videoing him. And I was like, I'm so glad I didn't answer. Like, it didn't go through because I didn't want to see him. Even though I'm gonna see him now. You know. But she called me, she's like, Anna, he's gone. Patrick died. And I was just like, no. And she's like, yeah, Mama, he's gone. And I just kept saying, no. And I went inside, I just like, because I was outside, and I went inside, and I just like, fell to my knees, and was just like crying, and she was crying, and she's like, I gotta go figure out what I'm gonna do next. And I was like, okay. And then I hung up, and I was like, I gotta call my dad. I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, he's gone. Dad, he's gone. And he died. So much for not crying, right? But yeah, he's gone. He's not coming back. I lived my life for him, man. I'm telling you, like, hug the people you love. Tell them you love them as often, because you don't know when it's gonna be your last. The last time I seen him in person was on the 20th, when I brought him a pillow, his favorite pillow, a fan, and some other stuff, medicine. And we both had our mask on, and I just hugged him anyway. Like, I didn't even care. I just like hugged him, and I kissed his arm, and I was like, I love you. Anyway, this video's long enough. I'm so sorry. But, stay safe. And, I got the antibody infusion, and I think that helped me out a lot. So, I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I see you next. Hopefully I'm doing a lot better than this.